Hello friends, Miss Sarah here. We are going to do a very fun project today. We are going to learn how to make some rod puppets. So you can make your rod puppets from your favorite stories. We're going to do Anansi the spider inspired puppets today. But you can make puppets from any story that you read, or make just puppets up from your own imagination, and then we'll set up a little puppet theater at home and show you how to use them. All right. Let's talk materials. Some things that are going to be really helpful are making sure you find some sort of either heavy paper or light cardboard to make the main body of the puppet, so it has a little bit more sturdiness. Some tissue boxes or some other light boxes from your recycling work well. Some other things that work well are some cardstock, if you have that in a home office, or some folders, even like old folders. You can cut these out, and the material is a little heavier. And I also found this brochure in my recycling. It's a little bit heavier weight, and that'll be great. Now, once you have that, of course, you need to decorate. Decoration, the world is your oyster. You can use some colorful paper and do some collaging, cut out shapes and collage. You could use markers or colored pencils to draw faces on, or crayons. It's really totally up to you. To hold things together and to cut them out, the tools you need are some scissors, some tapes. Scotch tape works, masking tape works, some glue. Glue sticks are amazing in this project if you have some glue sticks at home. And for the rod, a pencil is fantastic. A wooden spoon is also very nice to use. And even some kitty toys. I have kitties, so I have these lovely rod toys, and I could use this. I could attach my puppet to the top part and puppeteer with this. Now, the danger is that your kitties then might want to play with your puppets. So I'm going to leave you to do that risk assessment for yourself. Building. Now, one of the really cool things about this book is the geometric designs that the artist uses. So one of the things you got to do first is choose which character you want to design, and then look at what shapes there are. Like we have a triangle here, we have an X-shaped body, a rectangle, some other two triangles connected, a circle, and kind of like an infinity sign or an 8 almost. So let's choose, or Anansi is also a triangle. I'm just going to go ahead and make my version of Anansi, and we're going to start with looking at some triangles. I'm going to start with this because I think this purple is super cool and awesome. You can use black like the artist in the book, or any color. Use your imagination and your creativity. So I'm just pulling apart this box. Now let's talk square. One really cool thing about squares is actually, if you look at them, if you cut it in half, you have a triangle. You have two triangles. So all I need to do in order to make a triangle out of this square is take it, I'll hold it this way, see the pretty purple side, and I just cut it. I have two triangles. Boom. Let's do a couple other shapes. If you want a circle, there you go. And that's a very simple way to make a circle out of a square. Just take the corners off. So figure out what shape you want your body to be and go ahead and do that now. If you notice in this book, all the spider head shapes are kind of little teardrop shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and make myself a little teardrop out of this little piece. I'm going to make it the long way because I want to use this full length. A little teardrop like this. Now I'm like, how does that look? So I'm going to hold it up to my body, and I'm like, oh, I like it. Oops, wait, let's see. This one, I prefer this one because it doesn't have the Puffs logo on it. But if you like the Puffs, you could use the Puffs. There you go. Okay. Now, in order to attach these pieces together, you can put a little glue from a glue stick here. You can put a little Elmer's white glue and then just push it together. And if you don't have the glue, you can always just use some tape as well. And I can use the Scotch tape right here. And just voila. attached. And now you have a little head. Let's talk about puppet or spider legs. You see how they have the little bend in there? Now you could get very fancy and draw out a little bent piece on one piece of cardboard and then cut out the bend. That's a little too fancy for me personally. What I like to do is cut two straight pieces, like two little strips, like here's one, here's two. There you go. Now I have these two bits together. All I need to do is glue them or tape them, and I have a bend. And you can adjust the angle of your bend however you want. Okay, so now you'll see I've cut out a bunch of different little strips of my cardboard, different lengths, different widths, all a little different. Now I'm going to start putting these together to create all of my legs. Now, here's one that I glued together already. You can see just kind of what we're going for here. It's very simple to put them together. All you have to do is take one piece and one piece, make sure you have the angle that you want. Now, once you have that together, I'm going to put glue on the back side of this one, right here. Just a little bit of my white glue, a little dollop. There we have a little dollop of glue. It doesn't take a lot. That might even be too much. And then I'm going to just put it together here, like you have, and just hold it for a few seconds. And see, I do have a little too much glue, so what I'm going to do is just take that extra, put it on the back of my next leg, clean it off, and now I have a little dollop here that's all ready to go. So I can just set this down to let it dry for a moment. Glue sticks are really awesome for this activity because they have a faster drying time, and they also are a little less messy than white glue. But you know, you use what you got. All my glue sticks were at school, and the school closed. What are you gonna do? Ooh, look at that angle. Fun. So I'm gonna do this with the rest of my legs, and then you do that with your legs, and we'll come back together. Here's a little helpful hint as you're making your legs. You're gonna have legs on both sides of your spiders, and as you see, this leg kind of looks like it goes a little better on this side, and this leg is a little better on that side, you know, as opposed to this or that or this, if you want it, you know. So just as you're making it, make sure that you have legs that look good on both sides of your spider. Once you have all of your individual legs assembled, you can start to lay them out to see how they look, which one you think should be on top, in the middle, and on the bottom. I dropped one down here. And then once you have that, you kind of like your layout, you can start gluing them on your spider. One of the ways I like to glue them on the body is actually to put them behind, because I just think that makes a nice clean look to not have messiness on the front of my puppet. But it's up to you, so that it would look something like that when it's all said and done. Again, we're just going to add a little dollop of glue on there. Now, when you are all done with this, you're going to do all the legs on the one side. You can do all the legs on both sides this way, gluing them onto the body, or I'm going to show you in a second if you would like to have one set of legs that you can manipulate and move with another rod. I'm going to show you that in just 1 second. So a couple little bonus tips on how to sturdy up your puppet just a little bit. You see how these legs are overlapping? You can actually add little pieces of glue here so that where they touch, you glue them together, and then it all gets a lot stronger. And another way is on the back, you see where all of these pieces attach to the body? I'm going to put a little piece of masking tape across there just to help them hold into place. It just makes it a little bit stronger overall. And now let's add some glue to the knees, help to hold those together. Okay, so now I have this fantastic, very sturdy set of legs on this side, but let's say I want to manipulate this side with another rod. Well, you do the legs in the same manner. You organize them, beautifully done like this. The difference being, they're all going to come together at one central point. Now you can take a sharp point of a scissors, or a little tiny screwdriver to poke a hole through. This is a thing that you ask help from your parents, okay? No poking sharp items, children, by yourself. So you can poke a little hole through, and then you'll put a and then you decide where you want this on your puppet, and you'll poke a hole through the body here, and put them like this, and attach a brad, and then you'll be able to manipulate the whole leg. To poke this hole through, I'm going to take one leg at a time, and I take my scissors and the cardboard, and I'm just going to put it here towards the center of the cardboard and onto a hard surface, and I just poke the hole and wiggle the cardboard. Let me back it up a little bit. There we go. Poke the hole and kind of wiggle the cardboard like this. A big hole, just a little bit, and that'll be enough for the brad. You do that on all your legs and then the body also. Okay, I have my puppet with a hole poked in it. I have my legs with holes poked in them, and I'm going to attach them together. So I start with the brad going through the body, because I want the legs to be behind to make the nice clean line. I'm going to put them on one at a time because I find that a little bit easier. And I'm going to start with the littlest leg because then I can have a nice little stacked effect. Okay, they're all on. I'm just going to flatten out the brad so it's ready to go. Now, I get to position these legs to make my beautiful puppet shape. Now, one little tidbit is as you are positioning these, you want them to be able to line up to make something up that a rod can attach to so that you can manipulate this whole thing. So right here, I'm purposely gathering a bunch of legs kind of all together so that I can put my rod right here behind this little cluster of legs, and that'll help to hide it a little bit. And in order to keep the things in the shape, once I have them positioned the way I want to, I'm just going to add those little dollops of glue to attach them together. Oh yes, here we go. To give that a minute to dry, and I'm going to start working on decoration, how I want to do the face. The rods go on last. Congratulations, friends. So now we have the main construction of our puppet together, and you could manipulate this puppet without doing anything else to it and have a great time, except for adding rods, of course. But we're going to go a little bit further and add some faces and some things. Remember, also, you don't have to make this fancy one. If that seems a little too much or you don't have a brad, just glue all your legs like you did on this side. Do that to both sides, and that will also be a fancy, fun puppet to play with. Now, let's look at this. So this is one of the great things I like about this book is how he uses shapes in the artwork. We have some stripes here, triangles and circles. So I'm going to be inspired by that and cut some shapes out of my colored paper that I have here. Construction paper is great. This is actually just colored office paper, printing paper that I happen to have at home. If you are like, oh, I don't have anything, look in your recycling. Chances are you'll find some colors in some magazines or like the newspapers, the advertisements that we usually just throw away or recycle right away. You can find some color in there to cut out. Okay, go to it. Friends, I have cut out lots of little shapes, as you see, lots of little shapes. The next thing I'm going to do, glue them down. Glue sticks, this white glue, scotch tape, however you want to do it. If you want to draw with colors, crayons, markers, and not do any more gluing, that's fine too. Do whatever inspires you. This is your creativity. You're the artist here. Okay, so the last piece of the puzzle, now that once you've completed all of your decoration that you want to do, is to attach the rods. Turn your puppet to the back. The rod will go up about halfway or so. The best way I found to do this is to take some masking tape, put it right over here, and you want to really snug it down right up into the cardboard, right up in there. You can see really close, and then tape it down, and at least two, however many can fit, but do two because that'll really stabilize it. If you have one, it'll wiggle all around. Boom, just like that. Oops, don't get your brads in there. And then you want to do the same thing on your legs. Now for the legs, it can be a little bit tricky. I might do this, and then I can put tape right along there, and then maybe a skinny piece along here. It's kind of however you can fit it. All right. And here we have our puppet friend. So I've attached my rod. You can see how I attach the rod to the legs. Just do it however you can. Every leg will be different because they'll all be slightly unique in shape. And then you can make your puppet walk by doing a little wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Take a breath. Take a breath. When your puppet talks, give them a little animation. Because if you have a lot of these puppets all on stage together, their mouths don't move. The way we know they're moving is by giving them a little animation, which is a little different from their walking animation and their breathing animation. And walking. And breathing. And thanks for joining me today, friends. I had such a good time being your demonstration puppet. That's it. Have fun. I'm going to make one more puppet and maybe show you how to set up a puppet theater. Okay, for the other puppet I want to play with today, I saw this cool fish, and I have this amazing green folder. So I was like, oh my goodness, that's a fish right there. So what I've done so far is I've cut out some shapes that will be the fish, the main body, some fins, the tail fins, the other fins, and now I'm using colored pencils to kind of draw in, with the inspiration of this drawing right here. I'm using colored pencils and this green folder to recreate. I'll show you when I'm done. All right, friends, so I finished my fish puppet as well. As you can see, I can now wiggle it and make it swim just by giving a little rotation back and forth with my hands. Again, I cut out the different pieces. I drew all the design onto them, and then I glued them together. And as you see, I attached my pencil for a rod. And since this puppet's a little tall, sometimes if they get a little tall, they get a little wobbly. So I actually attached another pencil to stabilize the puppet. As you see, I attached it to the original rod that I'll be puppeteering with, and then put it up so that it's a little more stable, and I can make a nice fishy swim. Have fun! One last thing before we go, friends, just how to set up a quick puppet theater space. I have just 2 kitchen chairs here and a sheet. Space those chairs apart, spread the sheet out, pull it tight so you have a nice flat landscape. Duck yourself down behind, stick those puppets up, and they can start to swim across the land. Or pop up like a spider and run. Or even talk. I am Kwaku Anansi, and I am spider to the Ashanti people.